All right, so here I have a situation that I did not encounter before. Look like this beehive has been queenless. I've tried to combine two nooks together, and it's been over 2 weeks, and I was hoping to see some eggs, larvae, a queen or something. But instead of that, I found something completely new to me. That was a queen cell with 2 larvae in it. Something I had never encountered before. Everything that you see here are drones. That means we have worker bees laying eggs. And that's another proof for me that there's no queen. I've been checking for eggs. For any, when I find eggs, there's usually 2 in a cell. And everything that I see that is capped, and it's been going on for the past few weeks, is all drones. So the plan is now to combine those 2 into one deep box with 10 frames. And I have another nuke that I caught, another swarm that I caught, that I'm going to combine with them because I know the other one has a queen. She's been laying beautifully. They're growing, expanding. So right now I'm going to put these 2 boxes in one single dip. And tonight, when they're all back in the other nuke, I will bring them, and what I'm going to use for this to combine them is to put this on top of a 10 frame. This opening is for a nuke box. So 10 frames in the bottom from those 2 nukes, and the new nuke over, I'm going to put paper, newspaper in between. I will cut tiny little slots in between, just enough for them to get used to each other's smell, pheromones. But regardless, there is no queen in here. So that should be absolutely no problem. There should be absolutely no fighting. But going through the paper, it's going to give them about 24 hours to make it through and just get used to each other. And now this beehive will be queen right. So this is something pretty cool when you're trying to pass or combine a nuke with a 10 frame box. All right, so what I'm going to do is just move everything over to the side and start setting up my box. So I'm using screen bottom board. I'm not going to put the insert here, that's going to stay blank. I'm going to put this right over here. This is going to give them a little buffer space. Bees can hang out in the bottom of here. That comes right over the bottom board. Put it like that. So it allows for way more ventilation, and it allows also from a little buffer space. So at the moment they start feeling crowded, they can hang out here instead of bearding outside. So that's something pretty cool that I've been using now for a little while, and it kind of works, especially down here in South Florida, because it really tends to get really hot and humid, and all that extra ventilation and the extra space helps the bees really get better. This over, and I have some, even though those are nuke and they're deep boxes, I do have a combination of deep frames and medium frames. So at this moment it doesn't really matter. When the colonies start growing, and especially after I combine with the nuke, I will start using the medium frames on a super and just have the bottom brood chamber just with deep frame. This is full of nectar. It's all uncapped, but it has nectar in every cell. And I'm sure if I do this, it's pretty dry actually. I thought it was going to be a lot more wet, but it's not. It's pretty dry. And those bees, even though they are queenless, are super gentle. I did not even start using any smoke yet. Everything that's not capped for a drone cell is full of nectar. And they're also capping a little honey up here already. So that's gonna be close to this one. shift everything like this. I'm going to use this deep frame where they barely started drawing some of the comb. And it's funny, it looked like they capped the tiny little bit of nectar there is, or this is just the leftover wax that I had put over. More likely this is the wax that I put over that frame to help them get a head start. So this is what they're doing with this. We're gonna keep it maybe more to the edge, close to the wall. Still gonna help them out a little bit with some sugar water for a few more days because I need them to start to continue building up that comb and growing as a colony. So I'm gonna move this over and leave some bee space here. And now I'm gonna go to the bottom box and I'll continue going over down to this box right here. They've been drawing here, and as you can see, this is some wax that I added, and they've been using it to start pulling some new. This one doesn't have a lot, so I'm going to leave it close to the next one, the first one here. Same here. Look like they're starting always on one side and moving over. They haven't started using this wax yet. But you also have to understand, since they are queenless and everything that they've been laying is just really to create drones, the workforce hasn't been that good. So they're definitely in need for an increasing workforce, and hopefully combining them with the other nuke over there will just do that. Look like this is stuck. I'm not sure if it's stuck to the bottom, to the propolis here on top. That's pretty much it right here, I think.
Can you go slowly so I can see?
Yeah. So once again, every cap brood that you see here is a drone cell. And on this side, it's exactly the same thing. Just brood, 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 but drones, only drones. Just want to break a little bit this thing here. And it looked like we might have some queen cups or old queen cells, but they're not doing anything with it. So. All right, 2 more frames to go. Some older comb does have a little bit of nectar in there, but not much else. And we do have some bee bread and pollen and nectar here, and it starts drizzling. So I'm going to make this a little quicker for that last frame. Once again, those bees are so gentle, especially being queenless. It's pretty amazing. A little bit of drone comb here.
Go slow.
Nothing in the cells. Some fresh comb on this side. And nothing in the cells either. So this one's gonna go right here in the middle. I'm gonna push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna push those frames back together. And now, what I'm gonna put on this is this. So there's a lot of bee space here underneath. So that's pretty good. I don't need to put an inner cover here. I just want to make sure that I don't have too much propolis here, so everything doesn't come back together when I lift it. I'll clean a little bit of that. So I'm going to leave this in front of the box and have them just go in there, and I'm going to cover out that this is not their house anymore, and hopefully they're just going to start moving into the box. Some of them trying to figure out what's going on because they still have their pheromones in there, their smell, but slowly they're going to start moving into this box. So I'll bring a little entrance reducer here, and later on after dark I will move the other nuke right there by the entrance. I'm going to turn out the flashing those bees. But the plan is right now for me to move these box, so I'm not going to be able to film this, but you'll see the result tomorrow morning. Alright friends, catch you later. So there's been a couple of changes to the plan. Last night I was about to transfer this nuke and combine it on top of another box, and I was using a red light for this, but as I was ready to go I realized two things. Number one, that bottom board is screwed onto the new box, so it would have been a little problematic and disturbing for the bees. And second, when I had removed the once I had removed the bottle feeder and I looked down again into this hive, I realized how much of the propolis build-out there was under those frames. And I was afraid that if I did put that dupe box on top of the deep box, all that build-out would have been pushing the frames up, and the top cover would have not seated well, and it may have also been crushing some bees, probably even damaging the queen, because I had no clue where she was at that time. So I decided to do it a different way, and this is how we're going to proceed now. So the first thing I want to do is set up this box ready so I can start doing this combination. There's smoke in the front. Hope we don't have too many bees here, and actually they're all in here for now, so that's great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some newspaper, and one sheet will cover everything, which is great. Because there's a little bit of wind, all I'm going to do is put a couple of pieces of tape just to hold it in place so it doesn't try to fly away while we're doing this. A bit of painter's paint just to hold it in place. A couple more here, and that's the end of that roll. That's great. So we need one more there. So now under here I have this passage that's going to allow those bees to just get familiar with each other and chewing through that newspaper. Let's set it like this, and let's go get the nuke box. So I did find a queen. She's unmarked yet, but it's gonna make it. There she is. All right, so it seems like I thought I was recording the whole thing, but I wasn't. So what I ended up doing is taking all those 5 frames out of this box and put them in this empty nuke here, because I did not want to take out the screws, and I thought that the best thing to do here was to bring this bug back over there where I can see a lot of forager already flying, not understanding what's going on. So I'm gonna shake this box once and dump those bees over there on top. Now by finding the queen and caging her, it's gonna make it a lot easier for those bees to want to stay in here. Now, before you mark a queen, you want to make sure that you take in all the excess ink out of the pen, because the last thing you want is once you mark your queen, that all that ink just start falling down like a river on that queen. You will damage her, you will possibly kill her. So just make sure that you press it a few times. You can do that on your hand, you can do that on the frames, you can do that anywhere, but you want to make sure that now the pen is ready and not just dripping like crazy. And let me try to show you how we're gonna do this. Oh, I may have been out of frame the entire time. Not actually watching the phone as I'm filming, but she does not have a blue dot, so I'm just gonna give it about a minute to dry out before I put her back in the nuke. And there she goes. She just went down, shake those bees, and just before I cover this, I want to remove that little bit of wax that is here. All that propolis. And that's it. We're just gonna cover up. All I'm gonna do now is put this hive back over there. So I'll see you guys in a minute. So this is the ladder where we had the nuke, and this is where we're gonna put it back. But I don't know if you can see, there's a whole lot of bees that are here now. They're returning from their foraging flights and they don't know what to do. To the point that they ever checking out these. I was doing a little cleanup here with my equipment, and there's that empty hive here and they're checking it out. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna go put a nuke there, and all I'm gonna put in there is a small frame, a medium frame that has a drone comb with a little bit of nectar and pollen and bee bread on it, just to entice them to start storing whatever they bring it back into there. So I'll see you in a second. So the frame that I'm gonna be using is this little frame right here, medium, but it has a lot of drone comb, some storage already, and same on the other side. So that should keep them busy for the day. And I'm gonna see you guys in a second when I'm bringing back that nuke. All right, girl, try to get out from the top of the ladder. Let me push you out a little bit slowly, nicely. And now you should see immediately all those bees flying right back in there. And I'm gonna put that frame so they know where to put their storage, because they're bringing back with a lot of pollen. And what I'm gonna do right now, try to see, I can show you all that pollen that they brought back. Look at the beauty of this. They're loaded, their baskets are loaded, and now they're gonna have a place where they can actually store it. And I'm using the same nuke box. The reason is it still should contain the pheromones of the queen, so that should still feel familiar to them. and make them feel comfortable and confident in going in there. Inner cover, top cover, and we should be fine for the day. They have that beautiful pollen all over their tiny little legs and baskets. And now they start fanning. And as you can see, there is not any bees flying around anymore. Now when they're coming back, they're heading straight for it. Okay friends, so we'll catch you later so you can see how that combination of boxes ends up. See you soon. Okay, let's get started. And so I have beetle there. There we go. Oh, she slipped out. Let's put these in front. And now, so let's see. Put this here. Fine. All right. Let's get to it. And for the second frame. This frame is a little heavy. It's actually very heavy. Got some brood, larvae, capped honey, some nectar here in the bottom. And on this side, pretty much the same thing. But no queen here. So let's put it here for a second. Can see all the paper has been chewed up, meaning that they did merge, and now this is fully combined. So I'm going to put another frame, which might be on that middle frame here. Wow, beautiful brood. But no queen on this side. Very beautiful brood full of larvae, and here's the queen. There she is, marked with a blue dot. Beautiful girl. You see her?
Yeah.
All right, so now I know she's in here. Would have been good if I had the clip with me, but I don't. All right, So I have the clip now. The bees was on that frame. I'm not sure she's still gonna be here, but I'm gonna try. It's not on my side.
She's not here, but you can check.
No, but can you see all that beautiful larvae in there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So she may have moved on to the next frame.
She's here.
On your side?
Yeah, be careful.
Where?
She's right there.
Okay, okay. Yeah, get her? Yeah, she's in here.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna put this frame back, and you see actually, you see so heavy it's moving because they haven't attached it to the bottom. So the whole frame is moving with it. All the comb, I mean, is moving with the frame, so I gotta be careful when I manipulate this. Now I need to put those frames back together. Right here for now, just for a little bit. I'm gonna move this box
I can move back if you want.
all the way. All right, you see they did a great job chewing all that paper out. So now all those bees are one colony. All right, so I'll just put this right here in the front. I'm gonna remove this. I'll get a bunch of bees underneath. Actually, more on this side. Okay, put this on the front. And now I need to figure out how many of those frames are deeps and how many are supers. I'm gonna have to remove this so I can put extra frames in there. But I'm kind of skeptic because I don't know. See, that's a deep frame. They didn't do nothing to this one, so I can remove that one. Okay. The next one doesn't look like they did much to it. Started drawing, I'm checking those cells, make sure there's no eggs, and I do not see any eggs, so that's good. I'll remove the frame. That's 2. The next one over, let's see what happens with it. Might be able to pull this one out too. So on this side, even though they're drawing it out, I don't see any eggs. And on that side, neither. So that's good. That's what I needed to do. I needed to remove 3 frames. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift. Let me push those girls a little bit out. I'm going to move those frames to the side. Checking for brood first. Okay, there's not much here. Actually, I think there was more. Oh no. Okay, so we can leave this frame in and put it here toward the edge. Watch out, little girl. All right, so here we have a lot of food, bee bread, nectar. So the brood must be close to this. We have some more here, a couple of drones are capped. So since there's so much food here, the next frame might have some brood. Yeah, I'm sorry. such a beautiful frame, but there's nectar, lots of it. Some reserves. But what I also see here, and I think they are old queen cells right here, but I'm gonna get rid of them completely.
Empty.
They are empty, but I'm still gonna get rid of them. Actually, this one was not empty, you see? You have a larvae in it, so it's good that I did this. Because now they have no reason to make another queen, since we've been giving them a queen. And that could have been maybe from the worker laying eggs. I mean, there would have been drones, which would have not made a queen, obviously. So I'm gonna start moving those frames here. What I can do actually right now, which is great, I have 2 medium frames here, which means I can put back some of those taller frames back. I'm gonna put it on this side so it's not in your way. And I don't want to queen this. I don't want to keep the queen isolated too long. So let me start doing this. This is where we're gonna put right here. Next, we're gonna put this one. Checking out my legs. I'm gonna remove this. Come on, Joe. Put you here. We got brood and a lot of nectar here. So this frame will go up. I'm gonna put the next one over. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the 5 frames that were in the nuke. I'm putting them down in the dips, but I leave them in the center. So the 5 frames that are going to be together were the 5 frames that were together in there. So this will not change. Let me get this one out. A lot of nectar. Put that one there. Okay. 2 more frames to go. And I'm going to remove that frame feeder. It's very light. I don't think there's any more sugar syrup in there.
Bees in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to put them in the front. Right there. So I'm going to put this last frame. It has a lot of larvae, a lot of brood. I'm going to put it here. There's space here. I think there's just too much propolis over here, which doesn't allow it to close good. To put them tight together. And this side has a lot of it too, so I'm going to push this down. You can always make more propolis if they feel like they need to. But by keeping those, I see the problem here. They build this one out so much that it's harder to push those 2 together and give them the bee space. So I'm gonna leave a little space, and that kind of explain why there was a little bit of space here too. You gotta be able to move around between those frames. And now I'm gonna use this one to the side. And I got one more to put. Just by staying in the sun, that wax started melting. So hopefully they're gonna get to it pretty quickly and make good use of it. So I'm gonna have to remove these, but before I do that, I'd like to get those bees back in the hive by doing this. I grab the brush and just brush them down. Come on, ladies. All right, a few more on the side. Since the majority of them are out of the box now. Let's still a few on this side.
Under you have.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in front of the hive. So right now we have a lot of stuff in front of the hive, because what's important for me to do now is to set this up. So those two frames have some buildup in it. I'm going to put them right in the middle, right here, one next to the other. And what I'm going to do, remove the frame holder, put this on top. All right, and now I don't want to keep the queen isolated anymore, but if you can see, she had attendants. Those girls went to her like thinking, where's mom? So I'm gonna release her right there, and she should just walk right back in. And she just did. Beautiful. So from now, I'm gonna take this frame out of the sun because that wax start melting too. I'm gonna start filling it up. I have a frame here that has some wax in it, so I'm not going to put it exactly against it. I'm going to put a new frame here. Alright, like always when I put new frames, even though I set them all the same way with the name facing me, I'm still going to put an arrow. The arrow is always from the back to the front. Let me do this one. So when I manipulate those frames, I put them back in the right position. Not that it always matters, but you don't want to disturb too much the way the bees have laid out their frames. So now all you need to do is push them all together in the front and the back. Make sure all those spaces right here are tight. And those two pretty much are the same. And voila, this is done. So this is a pretty successful combining of two hives. One that was queenless, the one in the bottom. That was already a combination of two different nukes that were queenless and that failed. The bees were laying, the worker bees were laying eggs. So we had a bunch of drones, but that's all we had. And this one, which is another swarm that I caught that was on a nuke, newspaper in between, just a couple of tiny little holes in there for them to give them a head start on the chewing, and then they do this. You can see those bees are very gentle, very calm. They have their queen. When I did the combination, I found the queen, marked her in blue. We just saw her earlier, and those bees are super gentle. We gave a chance for the hive in the bottle to have a continuation, to continue their colony, their destiny, because if not, there was no new brood, and they would have ended up just dying one after the other, and that would have been the end of that colony. So by doing this, we have a much stronger colony now, and everybody's happy. Just this, put a cover on it, and we'll be done, friends. That was a very good thing that we did there. I'm pretty happy with the result. All right, now it's sitting properly. So that's it. So gonna leave it a note. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Buzzing Backyard.